Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. Tonight we continue to follow the devastation caused by 2 massive earthquakes just outside Anchorage, Alaska.
The quakes, measuring 7.0 and 5.8 respectively, damaged buildings and sent people rushing for cover. Mike Valenti joins us with the latest from our breaking news desk.
Well, we're starting to get a sense of the extent of the damage as emergency service officials race to help. Pictures and videos from social media depict scenes of chaos. There were no immediate deaths reported, but operations at the international airport have been halted, and Alaska's governor has issued a disaster declaration. Thousands of miles away, some in our area have been trying to get in touch with loved ones in Anchorage. We caught up with a woman in Frankfort whose 19-year-old daughter Sierra is stationed at an Army base in Anchorage. Fortunately, she is safe.
My heart sunk. Called her up and she was scared. She had just been in formation and just felt another aftershock. She was trying to hold a shelf up. She said she felt like the whole second floor was going to cave in on her.
And the quakes also triggered a tsunami warning to residents in Kodiak, but that warning has since been canceled. Back to you in the studio.
And that part of Alaska may still see aftershocks going forward through the rest of the day and even into tomorrow as well. But now the seismic activity that came from the epicenter, those major earthquakes, have been radiating across the continent, traveling thousands of miles to the Commonwealth. In fact, the Sonora seismograph, that's a hard word to say, seismograph, actually picked up some of that seismic activity earlier this afternoon as those waves made it into the Commonwealth. Of course, they weakened greatly by the time they made it to Kentucky, but still some of that earthquake was felt here in parts of the bluegrass. Outside though, back home, we are seeing temperatures running in the 50s across the area. We're catching a break from the showers for the moment, but as we go forward into the evening and the overnight hours, we are tracking drizzle and showers to move back in, with the most widespread activity expected through the first half of the day tomorrow. And along with that, we could be seeing some embedded heavy rain and thunder showers, but it's not all bad news for the weekend. More on that coming up in your complete Storm Tracker forecast.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Jill.
A man is in the hospital because police say he refused to oblige during a traffic stop.
And a chase led to an officer-involved shooting at the intersection of 127 and Leonard Wood Drive in Frankfort early this morning. Lee Searcy has the big story at 6.
This was the scene after 3 this morning when police say the driver of this Crown Vic sped off during an earlier traffic stop by a Frankfort police officer. A state trooper and a sheriff's deputy also tried to catch him. Police say when they finally stopped him here at the intersection of 127, this woman, 33-year-old Sherry Lindell, got out of the car, interfering with the man's arrest, allowing him to hop back in his car. Police say it appeared he was going to run over one of the officers, and that's when gunfire went off.
During that interaction with that individual, shots were fired. The individual was shot, and a trooper was also injured with minor injuries.
The suspect underwent surgery today, but police have not released his name or condition. LEX 18 has learned he had warrants out of another county prior to the traffic stop this morning. Sherry Lindell faces a number of charges, including resisting arrest. She declined to speak with us from jail. Covering the news in Frankfort, Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
Police say it was a drug deal that led to a shooting last week in Lexington, and now a teenager is charged with the crime. The shooting happened around 10:30 p.m. on November 21st. Police say a 16-year-old was walking on Carlisle Avenue when a vehicle pulled up and someone opened fire. The teen was taken to the hospital for treatment of several gunshot wounds. Police have charged a 17-year-old boy with assault, receiving stolen property, and drug possession. A hearing date was set today for a witness tampering claim in a deadly high school shooting case. Gabriel Parker appeared in a Marshall County courtroom this afternoon. One of the motions accuses the Marshall County school system and its attorney of witness tampering. Lawyers say state police have not complied with court orders regarding the release of evidence. They're also asking the judge to order the release of counseling records involving Parker's parents. The judge set a hearing for the morning of February 1st to discuss those matters. 2 teenagers were killed in that January shooting. 14 others were injured.
Attorneys for the man accused of plotting a school shooting in 2 Kentucky counties last month have asked a judge to release him for a mental evaluation. In October, Coberly Bull, a New Jersey mother of 3, reported a racist Facebook message she'd received to Kentucky State Police. Troopers and FBI agents arrested Dylan Jarrell as he was pulling out of his driveway in Anderson County, allegedly ready to carry out the attack. The woman credited with foiling that potential school shooting will finally get to meet people of the community, which she is so very grateful.
Now, the viral story led to a national television appearance for Coberly Bull, where she accepted an invitation to be a guest at Lawrenceburg's annual Christmas parade. Alexa Helwig joins us live from Bluegrass Airport, where she caught up with Coberly just after landing.
Hi, Kevin, Nancy. Yeah, Coberly and her 3 kids, they landed here at Bluegrass Airport just about an hour ago. This is their first trip to Kentucky. The invite to tomorrow's Christmas parade all started about a month ago when she appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Kentucky State Police Trooper Josh Satterley made the trip to Los Angeles to surprise her on the Ellen show. That's when he invited her family to come to Lawrenceburg this weekend and be in their annual parade. Trooper Satterley and Coberly worked together after she reported an alleged Facebook threat she got from Anderson County man Dylan Jarrell. Police caught up with him and say he was armed and had a plan of attack. Kentuckians are so grateful that Coberly followed her gut instinct and reported that message. Today, she told me she's so excited to be here, and the reunion tomorrow with Trooper Satterley will likely be an emotional one.
We connected a lot, and you know, he came back to our dressing room and was talking to the kids, and we were talking, so it'll be nice to meet his family and his son. You know, I've seen so many pictures, and his wife, so it'll be really cool to kind of see where he's from and why he's so amazing.
And Coberly said this whole experience has been so overwhelming, but she's so excited to meet the community in Anderson County tomorrow. She says she's made so many new friends through this experience. We're covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
A death investigation is underway in Floyd County after a body was found inside a burning home.
The fire broke out just before 6 this morning on Kentucky Route 3385. An arson investigator confirms one body was found in the home. The body will be sent to the state medical examiner's office to determine the cause of death.
The 8-year-old Louisville girl rushed to the hospital after she was found unconscious in her garage has died, apparently from a case of carbon monoxide poisoning. Her father, 39-year-old Juvenal Garcia Mora, and her 3-year-old brother Cruz were found dead in the family's garage Wednesday morning. Police say the father was warming up the car in the garage with the children inside. It's unclear how long the engine had been running, and investigators say the deaths appear to be accidental. Last week, the parole board told a former UK basketball player that he'd get another shot at freedom. After 32 years for rape, Tom Payne is about to walk out of prison into a very different world.
He calls it the space age. We call it everyday life with electric cars and smartphones. I sat down with Payne as he prepares to enter this new world with a new chance to prove he has changed.
I was mainly just praying.
32 years.
I didn't think I was going to make parole.
Down to just one moment.
It is our recommendation today that your parole be reinstated.
Almost too big to believe.
Thank you, man.
I've covered this story closely since Payne's parole hearing in 2016. Many people,
Thank you,
including myself, were surprised he's getting out after 3 rapes.
I really like to convey to people it's not a victory lap. You know, it's not, I don't feel like I've won anything.
Whether or not you believe in Payne's remorse, certain words ring true. He talks about the dream he squandered, playing for a legend at UK.
But you can't get it back. You know, you can't get the damage back, the pain back of hurting someone else, the disgrace back, the reproach back, the shame back.
One of his biggest regrets, hiding the anger, the resentment that came with playing ball in a segregated South, the only black man on his team, the pressure of expectations without the character to rise above. From prison, he watched another high-profile UK tragedy play out, Melvin Turpin's suicide.
If you're seen as a Superman, you don't feel that you can talk and emote to other people like you should. You won't go to other people for help. You know, I just held it in, I just held it in and just held it in.
Once released, Payne says he'll work to reach other young men, other athletes, and try to turn them from the path of violence he chose.
But I also understand that I brought reproach on this statement, but I'm going to work hard to do something else that's positive. to make up for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And I want everybody to know that. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Payne says he's already been accepted into a successful reentry program in Michigan and hopes to turn around and work for that group in the future. Plus, because of his love for his state, he says he hopes to come back to the Bluegrass to share his story and try to help others. No victims or families were present at Payne's hearing or submitted statements either last week or in 2016, and my efforts to reach out to them were unsuccessful. Well, there's still time to help hundreds of less fortunate families in the area have a Merry Christmas.
Coming up, we're live at the Kroger in Beaumont Center with an update about the Food Angel program and how you can help families in need.